Hello and welcome to this Capsum review session here. I'm Brother Kaneen, and we have a full house tonight. We have Team Digby here, and we're going to kind of review and see how they did, what they can do better, and how they can ace this final exam. So would you say you achieved your goals? Goals are very important when doing business and when doing other things in life. Rocky is a great example of goals. When he wants to become the best fighter, he sets goals for himself to exercise and train hard. What were some of your goals throughout the competition rounds of Capsum?
Our vision statement was to ultimately have 3 different products, 2 in high tech and 1 in low tech, and gradually drift the high tech products down to the low tech, and then just be the best in low tech by offering the lowest cost possible, because low tech products are very price sensitive. But ultimately that didn't end up happening. We ended up just having a mediocre low tech product and pretty good high tech products, and we ended up just focusing in the high tech market.
I'd say we achieved our goals eventually. We had a rough takeoff, but the flight was, pretty smooth. Smooth. Coming in for the landing.
When I almost bought Turtle Bay, I had a great vision and strategy for that piece of land there and that hotel. It was going to be very good. It was a great price, and I felt like I could make a lot of money off it. But unfortunately, I was not able to receive the funding from my rich uncle. Digby had a hard time there for a little bit. That first part, you guys didn't do very well, but then you guys picked it up. What were some things that caused you to not do very well in those first few rounds?
Okay, the beginning of the round, I think the bad decision that we made was we produced so many product, so we didn't sell enough. So actually, our capacity was pretty much run out. So later on, we didn't have enough capacity to make enough product to sell it. So that was the first mistake that we made. And the second one was our low-tech product wasn't in the position. We didn't realize that one, so it caused a really huge mistake for the beginning of our competition round. So yeah.
All right. So what were some things that you did do that made you do better in the later rounds?
So we ended up doing good at the end of it, and because we repositioned our products, and also we lower the price for low tech products, and also the third thing is we also come up with the new products in the high tech, and it helped us to sell more because its ideal age was 0, and it those things also helped us to have a more market share, and our customer survey increased eventually, and we also used our capacity of our factory, right, and fully, like 198, I believe, last time I checked. Was it? It was. And also we worked on HR. Also we improved our products working on by using TQM, and those things helped us a lot, and we ended up doing great at the few last 3 or 4 rounds of competition.
Life is full of decisions. We make good decisions and bad decisions. One of my best decisions, beside marrying my wife, was buying my motorcycle. I love to ride that motorcycle all over the island. I ride it to class every day, and just the great weather of Hawaii, great motorcycle weather. My worst decision happened when I was a manager of a hotel. This young, pudgy, pimple-faced kid came in and asked me if I wanted to invest in his computer company. At the time, I was thinking, I was a cheap Mormon. Mormons are are always cheap, and I decided that I wasn't going to invest in this kid. This kid is young. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But lo and behold, a few years later, it turns out that the company he wanted me to invest in, the company that he founded, was a company called Dell. If I would have invested in it then, I'd be a very rich man by now. So, what are some of the best and the worst decisions that you guys made in the competition rounds of Capsen?
Our best decision was listening to the all-knowing Brother Kaneen to lower our low-tech product down to $25, even though we were advised not to do it by the tutors when we came to the lab. Numbers don't lie, and we went through the numbers with Brother Kaneen, and he advised us to do it, and so we took a little risk and we did it, and it definitely paid off. We ended up increasing our customer survey score by, what was it, between 15 and 20 points. Is a lot. It was super great, so listen to Brother Kaneen.
The worst decision we made was the beginning of this first round because our product was not in the circle; it was out of the circle, and because of that, it affected the rest of the rounds, and we couldn't sell lots of products, and our customer survey was pretty low, and we just run out of money, and we have lots of products that are in the warehouse, and we are not using our what do you call, like, factor capacity very well, and that was it.
This capsum is all about competition and trying to determine what to do in relation to this sort of competition. Rocky, when he trains, he always keeps his competition in mind. What would you say? Who was the biggest competitor in these rounds of capsum? Our biggest competitor was definitely Ferris, and they had huge market share and were able to sell a ton of product. But in our particular segment, I would say Chester. Chester was right there with us because they were catering more toward the high tech products, and we were also competing very heavily there as well. So yeah, Ferris and Chester definitely were the biggest competitors in this round. Now, in retrospect, I as an older man, tend to look back on life, and if I could go back in time, I would choose to do things a little differently. In retrospect, what are some things that you as Digby would do differently? So what we would do differently, we would definitely not produce as much in the first rounds. We would get our automation up as soon as possible, and we would always make sure we always reposition our products so that they are in the optimum locations, therefore making the age appropriate and keeping our customer survey score up there to compete with the other products.